world to News Prime on Global Television. It's coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Icomsat. Now the news in full. Nigerian Senate has confirmed Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. She is the 23rd person to hold this esteemed position and the second female to do so. Justice Kekere-Ekun's confirmation followed a request from President Bola Tinubu, who nominated her for the role. Uyi Agbomofwegbe has the details.
The plenary, led by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, suspended its rules to allow Kekere-Ekun answer questions during the confirmation hearing. During the screening process, lawmakers questioned her on various judicial matters.
I will ensure that the code of conduct is fully complied with. I will ensure that there is zero tolerance for corruption.
Kekere-Ekun emphasized the importance of maintaining judicial integrity and adhering to ethical standards. She argued that there should be limits on cases reaching the Supreme Court, particularly regarding pre-election matters, stressing that such cases should conclude at the Court of Appeal, while highlighting the need for timely handling of petitions by the National Judicial Council. Justice Kekere-Ekun also called for measures to insulate the judiciary from external influences.
I am of the view that many matters should terminate at the Court of Appeal, especially into interlocutory appeals. There's also a situation where pre-election matters come all the way to the Supreme Court, whereas in national and state assembly elections, the substantive elections terminate at the Court of Appeal.
Before this appointment, Justice Kekere-Ekun had been acting as CJN since August 23, 2024, following Justice Kayode Ariwola's retirement. She has served as a Supreme Court Justice since 2013 and is recognized for her significant contributions to Nigeria's judiciary. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
Still on the new Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun says there will be zero tolerance for corruption under her watch. Kekere-Ekun stated this after the Senate confirmed her as a substantive CJN. A confirmation followed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's request in a letter transmitted to the Senate. She had been acting in that capacity since August, sequel to the retirement of Justice Olukayode Ariwola, her predecessor. She arrived at the Senate chamber by 12:30 p.m. in company of other Supreme Court and Court of Appeal justices. The screening took about 2 hours as senators engaged her with questions bordering on judicial reforms. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has expressed his readiness to reshuffle his cabinet. The president has also charged the ministers not to be media shy, but go out to publish the activities of their ministries. Addressing a press conference at the Senate House in Abuja, Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, lamented so much is being done, but Nigerians are not aware. Imo State Independent Electoral Commission has issued certificates of return to the 27 elected local government chairman across the state. Chairman of the commission, Charles Ejogu, says the event is in line with the Electoral Act. Imo State correspondent Amarachi Ibe completes the report.
This is Imo State Independent Electoral Commission, ISEC, in Owerri, capital of the state. The Commission's office is filled to the brim as politicians and well-wishers come in their numbers to witness the collation of certificates of return by the elected 27 local government chairmen across the state.
The Commission will formally hand over certificates of return to the council chairman. And what has just happened in Imo State is a concrete demonstration of the will and determination of the people.
Some of the elected chairmen expressed joy.
What are the expectations from the more work, more responsibility, more commitment, and most importantly, to prove to justify the confidence into the
political analyst says the occasion is in line with relevant provisions of the law. Recall that Saturday's election witnessed the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) sweeping the local government areas election by winning the 27 local government areas across the state. Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
A Kano State High Court has issued an interim injunction restraining 19 political parties from taking any actions to stop the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission from organizing and conducting the upcoming local government elections. The presiding judge, Justice Sanusi Ado Ma'aji, delivered the ruling following a motion ex parte filed on September 20th by Kano State Independent Electoral Commission, the plaintiff in the suit. The National Peace Committee, NPC, has announced that it will hold a national stakeholders meeting in Abuja as part of efforts to address the various challenges currently facing the country. A statement signed and issued by both the chairman, former head of state, General Abdusalami Abubakar, retired, and convener, Bishop Matthew Kuka, said the 2023 general elections were marked by a renewed sense of optimism and desire for change among Nigerians. The Nigerian Army has refuted the allegation of sexual harassment by ex-Private Ruth Ogunleye against Colonel Ibrahim Abdulkarim and other personnel of Army Medical Corps Lagos. This rebuttal was made by the Director Army Public Relations, Major General Oyema Wanchuku, while addressing journalists in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere has the details.
It is crucial to assert that the Nigerian Army, in its bid to ensure justice and transparency, conducted an exhaustive review of the facts, testimonies, and evidence presented. The investigation concluded that Colonel I.B. Abdul Karim did not commit the offense of sexual harassment as alleged by ex-Private Ruth Ogunleye. The findings were definitive and based on objective evaluation. While the Army was addressing the allegations of sexual harassment, further concerns about Ruth Ogunleye's conduct came to light. Her behavior, both online and offline, raised questions about her worsening mental health and emotional stability. Consequently, the Nigerian Army referred ex-Private Ruth Ogunleye for medical evaluation at the National Hospital in Abuja, following earlier assessments made by the Nigerian Army Medical Corps that suggested potential mental health concerns.
Of universities have given the federal government a 14-day ultimatum to resolve several lingering issues. ASU is seeking the conclusion of the renegotiation of the 2009 FGN/ASUL agreement based on the NIMI Breaks Committee draft agreement of 2021, as well as the release of withheld salaries due to the 2022 strike action. ASU President Emmanuel Osodike, in a statement issued, expressed frustration with the government's lack of commitment and delayed tactics, stating that these actions are fueling crisis in the public university system. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Musa Adamu Aliyu San, has described corruption as a cancer that has severely affected the performance of the education sector. He noted that the lower level of the education system have been the most impacted. Aliyu, represented by Grace Aga Ibe, made these remarks during a workshop organized by the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria in Abuja. Aliyu attributed corruption in the sector to a lack of transparency and accountability. The Oyo State government has announced the clearing of over 153.11 kilometers of blocked drainages and culverts across major roads in Ibadan as part of effort to prevent flood disasters during the rainy season. The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Abdul Majid Agbola, disclosed this in a statement by the Commissioner of Information and Orientation, Dotun Oyelade. Now, nurses in Ondo State have urged the state government to review their salary structure in line with has done for the other professionals in the health sector, warning that this disparity could lead to disharmony within the system. The nurses under the aegis of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives Ondo State Chapter expressed their concerns at the 2024 Ondo Nurses Week Scientific Conference held in Akure, the state capital. The National Emergency Management Agency says 10 communities have been displaced by flood following heavy rains in Shanga local government area of Kebbi. Aliyu Shehu Kafanidaji, the head of operations of the Nemo Sokoto office, made this known when he led a joint assessment team to the affected areas. He added that the incident left no fewer than 2,000 people homeless who had no option but to flee to safer areas. The Federal High Court in Abuja adjourned the money laundering case against former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission until October 30th, 2024 for a ruling. Justice Emeka Uwete granted the adjournment following Bello's move to appeal to his Supreme Court, seeking to overturn the arrest warrant issued by the trial court on April 17th. During the hearing, Defense Counsel A.M. Adonyi informed the court that the matter of Bello's arraignment, which is under appeal, had been taken to the Supreme Court. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Prime returns, Central Bank of Nigeria threatens sanctions against bank failing to dispense cash through automated teller machine. Details, these and more after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Prime. Thank you for staying with us. On our business decks, the federal government may spend about 236 billion naira monthly to subsidize the premium motor spirit popularly called petrol. This is imported through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company and the one that is solely uptaken by NNPC from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. The President and Chief Executive of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, called on the federal government to end fuel subsidies completely. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria has urged the federal government to increase its shares in the Dangote Petroleum Refinery from the current 7% to at least 45% to enable assurance and energy security. It said this will ensure further energy assurance and security for the citizens. The value of foreign exchange turnover via the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market increased to 15.74 trillion naira, $9.90 billion in August 2024. This came as the Central Bank of Nigeria revealed that foreign inflow into the country increased to $585 million in the same month. Also at the official market, the value of the naira dropped to 1,658 naira against the United States dollars from 1,659 it sold on Monday, while black market sellers sold at the rate of 1,670 naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has announced plans to penalize banks that do not dispense cash through their automated teller machines, ATMs, as part of its effort to maintain adequate cash circulation. The Apex Bank's governor, Yemi Cardoso, stated this during a press briefing at the end of the 297th Monetary Policy Committee MPC meeting in Abuja. Cardoso emphasized that all deposit money banks must ensure availability of enough cash for withdrawals at all times. He disclosed that the Apex Bank has set up a monitoring system to ensure compliance, stressing that any bank not adhering to this directive will face penalties. The Federal Executive Council has approved the Economic Stabilization Bill. These bills, driven by recommendations from the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, chaired by Taiwo Oyedele, marked a critical step in the government's accelerated stability and advancement plan. Over now to our foreign desk, China's top diplomat Wang Yi has pledged to support Iran in safeguarding security against external forces and meeting with the country's new president in New York. Beijing's foreign ministry wing met President Masoud Pezeshkian on the sidelines of the annual UN General Assembly. Beijing said, as Israel launched more strikes against Tehran's ally Hezbollah in Lebanon, the top diplomat promised China would always be a trustworthy partner. Still on China, it says it has successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile carrying a dummy warhead into the Pacific Ocean. Defense Ministry said the ICBM was launched today and fell into expected sea areas, adding that the test launch was routine and part of its annual training. The type of missile and its flight path remain unclear, but Chinese state media said Beijing had informed the countries concerned in advance. Australian Olympic swim coach Dick Kane has died weeks after he was found guilty of raping and sexually abusing 6 female students. Kane, who had been in palliative care for terminal cancer, died on Wednesday morning at the age of 78. Kane was charged with 39 offenses committed against the teenage girls in the 1970s and 1980s. The assault took place at a swimming pool in Sydney, in his home and in his car. The 6 victims were due to deliver their victims' impact statement as a special hearing in December, but this is unlikely to go ahead due to Kane's death. Tropical storm Helen is strengthening in the Caribbean as it heads towards Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Meteorologists warn Helen could turn into a Category 3 hurricane before hitting the U.S. Gulf Coast in the coming days. The U.S.-based National Hurricane Center says that Helen was expected to pass the northeastern coast of Yucatan in the coming hours and hit Florida late on Thursday local time. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for almost all of the state's countries. Over now to sports. France World Cup winner Raphael Varane has announced his retirement from football at the age of 31. Former Real Madrid and Manchester United centre-back Varane had joined Italian club Como to this season, but was then excluded from their Serie A squad, having suffered a knee injury in August. Still on sports, IBB International Golf and Country Club has unveiled plans for 2024 edition of Independence Cup, a golf tournament organized annually by the club to celebrate Nigeria's independence anniversary. Unveiling the plans at the press conference held at the boardroom of the club, Vice Captain and Chairman of the organizing committee, Chief James Eromosele, said the week-long activity would begin with caddies and staff competing for trophies and other gifts. 4-time major champion Naomi Osaka says she didn't want to have regrets after confirming she has teamed up with Serena Williams' renowned former coach Patrick. Former world number 1 Osaka, now ranked 73rd, defeated Lucia Bonziti of Italy 6-3, 6-2 in the first round of the Women's Tennis Association 1000 Chinese Open with a Frenchman in her player's box. The 26-year-old Osaka split from Belgian court win Fresset this month as she attempts to return to the form that propelled her to the top of the women's game. And that's it on News Prime, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we are on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on ICOMSAT. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.